Today, we're having a little bit of crazy season stuff happening here, but we officially switched seasons. I'm really looking forward to falling back with the clocks soon, so hopefully it doesn't feel so dark in the mornings. So I thought it would be a good time to connect with the elements, to connect with our senses, to really feel our bodies and see if we can further our connection with nature and the world, ourselves, and others with a deeper connection to ourselves and the elements. I really hope that you enjoy today's meditation. And when you're ready, if you can leave your spot, your desk chair, I would really encourage that. I really like to sit on the ground. But I understand if you need to stay in your desk chair, especially if you're at work, that might be a little silly to sit on the ground. In that case, slip off your socks or at least your shoes and try to firmly ground your feet underneath your desk. But if you happen to be working from home or you're in a conference room and you can spread out a bit, join me. I didn't do anything fancy, but I did make a pretty cool stack of some old pillows from my couch. And the hope here is if we could get ourselves down to the ground, let's say we chose to sit cross-legged with our hips a bit higher than our knees. The hope here is to get out of that 90-degree knee sitting position and begin to open up some of the front of our hips. It's nice to elevate our hips as well so we can encourage that little curvature in the lower back, finding this beautiful length in our spines. Now, if you chose the floor but you get tired or fatigued in your spine during our practice, feel free to find a piece of comfy furniture or scoot yourself up to the wall. And for my friends who are in chairs, we'll slide ourselves to the back of the chair because you have this beautiful backrest, right? Unless you're using like an exercise ball for a chair, which is really good for your core. But if you have a chair back, use it. Slide up the length of your chair. And while remaining tall, soften what you don't need to hold on to. Beginning our practice today with just some micro movements, shoulders up, back, and down a few rounds in order to get the ants out of our pants so we can settle comfortably for our practice today. Once you've taken a few of those backward shoulder rolls, slow it down and lift towards earlobes. Pull shoulders back in together and allow them to drop down. Soft V in the bottom of your shoulder blades. This is where we'll keep them. And then our hands can land anywhere. If we're feeling a bit too excited today, we can palm down anywhere you'd like for grounding. And if the opposite is true, that we're quite sluggish or sleepy, palm up for increased energy. I really love this one. Sometimes I practice with a little cup under my navel. Otherwise, you can rest them anywhere that it feels good for you. Once you've gotten your arms and shoulders comfy, take a chin tuck all the way down towards your chest and think about lifting from the back of your neck vertebrae. Bring the eyes back level with me and then move them to your right shoulder. As much as it feels good, try to drop tension away from jaw and facial features. Eyes back to me. Move them over your left shoulder. And as you bring them back into the center again, we'll retuck and then just do a little half moon roll, the last bit of our micro movements this morning. Ooh, sometimes you feel like a little crunchy or you hear something that's not feeling very good, right? So if you encounter that, I just had one here. We're gonna pause in that spot, maybe rock a little side to side, being intuitive with your movements, really listening into what you need. Ultimately, when we feel a bit more open, lifting the crown of our heads, making sure we feel parallel with chin towards floor. And slipping eyes closed if that feels comfortable for you. If not, you can do what I do. Take your eyes down to something still and boring. So not a notepad, not a cell phone. We're gonna try to minimize distractions with this technique. And rather than closing my eyes fully, I close mine to little slits. Now I'm looking through my lashes, so things feel blurry and unfocused. A great way to really drop into your body and your practice, minimize the distractions that will inevitably happen around us. Welcome. My friends, bring your attention to your breath. Congratulations on making it here. Now we hope to tap into the present moment by noticing how our breath moves. And what we find is unique to us today. There are no rights, there are no wrongs. We are here to be curious, the observer, and I like to encourage a beginner's mindset, meaning we have no idea what's about to happen. And that is true for each one of us because none of us have been in this present state we are in this day, this second of the world. So it's all new. Every second is new. And if we come with no expectations, I often find that we are more content at the end. I should speak for myself here. I often find that in my own practice, which is why I encourage it for you. And I also like to think of the beginner's perspective. So let's say we're into our practice and your mind starts going, oh my gosh, did I leave that candle burning earlier? Or, oh my gosh, I need to prepare a note card for my 3 p.m. meeting. That's okay. We don't hold a judgment or a criticism against ourselves. Our gentle, kind, and loving beginner's mind just tries to gently pull us back into the present moment, into our breath. Because all of those thoughts will still be there when we come back out of practice together. Inhale as deeply as it feels good, not forcing, just allowing breath to really move. Exhaling softly, fully though, allow your whole body to exhale. And as we continue with our breath practice, the connection, the noticing of our breath, we are resting today with this quality of openness and being with whatever arises in our experience. We'll try to take a bit of a different approach, perhaps thinking of it like we're looking through a different lens, approaching our practice differently today, examining our body, maybe in a different way than you're used to. Give yourself space to drop in, to deeply investigate elements and senses within your body. Elements around us. And please know that everything that I offer to you, that I invite you to join me in, is not going to be right for you. So you may feel like you don't agree with something or you can't connect to something, you just kind of feel neutral about what I mentioned. That is valid and true. Just keep breathing, keep being and becoming more present. Try to bring an open mind and see what you can learn about yourself. And remember that although I call what we're doing our meditation for today, we are cultivating or perhaps broadening, improving on our mindfulness. We're looking to see clearly. Looking at things from a new perspective can sometimes, or maybe even oftentimes, bring that sense of clarity to our lives. So we're settling here in our relaxed position. And we probably are all aware of the fact that there are 4 primary elements: earth, fire, water, and air. And today we'll investigate those elements together. But let's come to our bodies first, establishing the connection here and within will hopefully help us establish a connection more deeply or perhaps just more easily to the elements, to the outside. If your eyes are closed, feel free to open them and just let them totally wander around. Just keep your body still, moving side to side, down and up, forward, over and about. And as you're wandering, just notice. Take in the physical details of your space. Wouldn't it be so cool if we did this regularly, really cultivating presence and just noticing what's around us, just being with our bodies and the beautiful gift that our eyesight is. Notice the details, the physical details of your space. Notice colors, shapes, and textures. And you're probably familiar with your space, so you might even be able to do this with your eyes closed if you're ready to soften back in. Start to soften away the sense of sight that we practiced. Let your gaze drop back down softly or gently reclose your eyes and allow other senses to heighten as we soften our sight. Tune into any sounds around you. I have a puppy in my room. I just heard her take a big, noisy breath, like kind of a snoring breath. She's taking a snooze next to us. Maybe you hear someone typing, or if you're home, you hear some other movement in or outside of your home. And when we notice these things, my friends, we aren't assigning good or bad qualities to whatever it is. We're just listening. Allow that sense of sound to soften back again. Maybe we start to hear more within. We hear our own breath moving here. And when you're ready, I invite you to join me, shifting your awareness to your sense of smell. And as we notice the smell in our environment, maybe you're home and you notice whomever cooked something this morning, there's some lingering sense in the house, but no judgment, no stories, just acknowledging. Maybe the products you had used on your body or on the clothing you're wearing. And we're really closely correlating smell with taste. So let's bring that one into the same practice. Maybe you have some chapstick on your lips that has a flavor, or you were just drinking or eating before our practice and there's a lingering taste of food or drinks in your mouth. So we bring our awareness to our amazing sense of smell, of taste, and then we soften the hinges there. Soften the jaw, separate your teeth, maybe give your nose a little wiggle. I don't know if you ever watched Bewitched. I feel like it may have been in the 80s. It was a very cute show. She used to wiggle her nose, and that's how she did her magic. So every time I do that in an attempt to soften my face, I think of that cute show. And so we start to soften the senses of smell and taste. And then we notice feeling. This one is, I think, the easiest one. I'll help you find it. You can feel your clothes against your skin, right? You can feel maybe one body part against the other. It might still be against clothing since it's a bit cool out, but perhaps skin against skin wherever you're resting. And then how about your body against your supports beneath you? Feet on the ground. Maybe you like to have a fan in your space, or there's some heating or air conditioning that you're noticing, the feel, the breeze. Whatever you're feeling is perfect. Now, allow all of your senses, your eyesight, sounds, smell, taste, and feeling, all to just simply wander, mixing and mingling into the most amazing version of you. If you become distracted by anything, just notice what senses heighten with that distraction. And once you're connected to yourself, try to connect here with the earth's elements. Now, starting kind of in rewind here, we just spoke of feeling, the sense of feeling. So as we begin to connect with earth, that's our physical form, right? Anything that we can touch has the earth element. So our flesh, our bones, our hair. And then we have the ground. Tuning into your specific experience, remembering that there are no rights or wrongs. Even if you still have your lips together, but your jaw is relaxed, that is the earth element, our lips touching one another. Feel the skin hugging into your bones. Maybe if your eyes are closed or even droopy, You notice the subtle weight or the pressure of your eyelids on your eyes. And this time of year, like I said, we're having some funny weather things happen. At least where I am in South Jersey, it's going to be pretty warm this weekend, and it's been sunny and warm. But the seasons are still technically changing, and it's getting cooler. So with this airy season, with the windy season, we can sometimes feel like our minds are racing. We feel a little ungrounded, right? So, in that way, we can improve our connection to Earth element by embracing the stability of the Earth. For example, going for a walk or just standing. And like I requested at the beginning of practice, even just standing on the ground but with bare feet can be so grounding. While you are, be mindful of your feet. Go through the practice we just did and do your senses, what you're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling. Allow the nourishment and the stability of the earth to help you ground and settle. So, to connect more deeply with earth here, we might think I am one with earth. I am strong. I am grounded. My roots stretch miles into the dirt beneath my bare feet. Or if we're seated today, my roots stretch miles beneath the supports I am under. We take it and change it to whatever feels right for us. Now, the water element, sometimes tough to connect to this time of the year, but it's the quality of moisture. So, not just water, I mean, obviously that works as well, but think of other things that are actually within you that you can connect with: blood, urine, sweat, maybe not so much this time of year, tears. It's the binding element that holds everything together. And we have about 60% water within us. In our mouth, about our eyes. Can you connect to your heart beating? Get a sense of your blood pumping. With the water element, perhaps we can deepen our connection with it by saying, or thinking, or just hearing, I am one with water. Very applicable to everyday life. I move freely and I adapt to change that comes my way. Think of water. It'll go over an obstacle, around an obstacle, under, through, right? Very adaptable. So cool. I love that one. The heat element, the fire element, what we may be craving this time of year, whether it's with our hearty, comforting, nourishing meals or an actual source of heat that we're bringing in. It obviously includes our temperature, but did you know that we use our fire element to digest? So, to connect with it today, what is warmer on your body than cooler? I notice that where my hands are resting on my knees, thigh area is very nice and cozy, and where my toes are cold. So I'm not connecting with my fire element there. Now, is there anything warm or tingly just from being still? Maybe you're getting like some tingles wherever you're connected to your support. Does the temperature of your palm feel warmer than the temperature of the back of your hand? Maybe it feels just different, not warmer, not cooler. Can you notice that the air coming out of your nostrils is a bit warmer than the air that comes in? Temperature on the soles of your feet versus the top of your feet. Let everything become one and blend together. Just like we let go of our senses, we let go of our fire element. To reconnect with it at any time today, you can make up your own mantras. I like to always say, I am one with fire. I have passion, or perhaps I create passion. We create life, we create art, we create connection, all fire. Now, for air, our next element, how do you connect to air within yourself? Breath? Nice. This season, particularly, we might be feeling some wind. That is definitely our air element. When we move, we displace air. However subtle, we are creating air. The movement in our abdomen squeezes out air, inflates with air. Maybe other things in your body move in reaction to the movement of air. You might lift, grow taller. You might soften and get heavier. Again, that air around your nostrils. I am one with air. I rise. Something I encourage my teens to do all the time. Rise above it. Be better than others. When you're dealing with teenage drama, that is pretty common. So air element is super helpful to encourage us to be our best selves. We see no limits on love, on life, and within ourselves. So as we start to wrap our practice up together, let's bring it all in. Remember that you are water. Cry, cleanse, flow, let go. And if you're having a hard time connecting to the elements, think about how they relate to your body, what we practiced today. Remember that you are fire. Burn, adapt, ignite, tame the fire. Remember that you are air. And this is a really good one to remember when you're feeling. Remember in the beginning, we talked about if we feel a little sluggish or sleepy, bored, whatever the word is you're using. This is a really good one to work on. Remember that you are air. Observe, breathe, focus, and decide. Maybe go outside and take a big bunch of air in. I always notice that when I sit a little bit more brightly and focus on my breath, I'm energized. Remember that you are earth. I encourage you to get dirty, take off your socks, go outside, ground on anything. It's getting cold, so it's really tough to linger there, but maybe you'll find a little sunny spot that you could ground in. Give, build, heal with our grounding. And also remember that you are spirit. You've established a connection to spirit today. The term spiritual means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. I believe our spiritual connection, this is personal, I believe that it is our connection to our mind, our body, and our breath. So today, we are spirit. We connect, we listen in, not to me. I'm just guiding you today, but you're connected to spirit by listening to yourself. You know what's right and wrong. And as we're still, we're really able to cultivate this connection to spirit. I give great thanks to you and in admiration, drop my head in a simple gesture of gratitude for the fact that you've joined this community, that you stayed present and willing to work on reaching your highest potential, becoming your best self. My wish for you is that you leave feeling a little better than you started, that you feel whole, that you are healthy, and that you experience profound inner peace and live with ease. Namaste, my friends. My light treasures you. Have a great day, and I can't wait to see you